Understand.
You understand it?
I understand it.
Okay. Now, Victor, tell me, what's the difference between class and object? Here.
A class is like basically like a group of objects. A class is like basically what like they put in like a group, and object is something within the group, like within the class.
Very close. Very close. Okay. How about you, Phyllis? Right? In your understanding, what is class and what is object?
Sort of.
Huh? Sort of what?
Actually, like a class is like a car, and the like object is a type of car.
Okay. Class is something, right? We can look at this, right? So if you take a look at the example of the car again, so let me see. Okay, here. If you look at this picture. Nathan, look at my screen.
Yes.
Okay. Right? This is class. I have a class car. Okay? It's like a blueprint or prototype of a car. I know car may have like wheels, like have the body frame, have windows, right? Have wheels. That is all the common thing, right, or feature normally a car has. What is object? Object is coming from class, okay? But it will be more detailed, right? When we say car, okay, it's very generic, very abstract concept or words, okay? But when we're talking about details, hey, car, what's the model? What's the maker? Which year of car, right? What's the color of the car? Look at here. Object is more detailed or solid themes of class. I have 3 objects here, okay? They are all cars, right? So it's derived from the car class, right? The first object, right? It is a car, but we know the brand is Toyota, right? Toyota, and the color is green. The second object is also object of the car class. It's a Honda. It's a green color, right? The third one, Ford, and a red color. Okay? So, class, blueprint, no details, right? Prototype, object, has details, right? The solid, okay, coming from the class. Let's take a look at another example. Look at this. Okay. So, Victor, tell me here, what is class, what is object?
The class is basically like object is like the students, and the class is like the total amount of students. It's like basically like.
I think I have to correct your understanding here. Okay, this class is not the same concept of class in the school. Okay, so you cannot say class is a group of objects. Okay, class is just it's a model. It's a blueprint. Every object is coming from the class. Okay, so it's not the same class in the school. Okay, it's not a group of something. Okay, it's a prototype, it's a blueprint. Okay, so look at here. The class here, name is student. Okay, which student? This is detail. No, it's just a student class.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What's row NO?
Row MO it's a property name. I believe something like the student ID or row number, I think. Okay, something like ID or number. Okay, so here, right, Nathan, the class name here is student, right? So we have a student, we have a class called student. Okay, so now continue with your question. What do we have inside the class? Nathan,
Like
what do we have inside the class?
the properties for the objects?
No, property or function. Property or function. Tell me in the student class, what are the property? What are the function? Nathan.
Property is set name and set row NO. And function is name and row NO.
Are you sure?
We know it's the
What's
other,
the function? Huh?
the other way around.
Okay. Function. You see the parentheses, right? So which means this is a function. Set name. It's something like action. Okay, do something. Set name, which means I name something, right? Set row number. I give a number to somebody. Right? Do you see the parentheses? If you see the parentheses, which means it's a function, right? What's a property? Right? Property attributes, they're the same concept, right? It's just description, right? It's a description of the class. The function is just like the action of the class. Okay, so here you can also understand name, row number is just like a variable. You have variables inside the class, right? Name, age, gender, right? That's called properties. Okay, Alice, can you tell me what other objects do we have here in this picture, in this example? What objects do we have? Objects.
Nancy, James, Goldie, and Gabby.
Very good. They are the objects of class students. They are coming from class. Okay. Object is detailed, right? Or derived coming from class. Why I say that? Because it's more details, right? Objects, we have the name. Okay. We have I don't know what's the row number. Row number is 1999, right? I don't think that's the date of birth, right? It's a number. Okay. So, oh, I know. This one is an object, and for the object, which means for the properties here, it has details value. Name Nancy, right? Number 1999. Same thing. James, Goldley, Gabby, right? They are all objects. Do you see a difference? Object class. Class, I have properties. I have prototype. Okay. But when we talk about object of a class, they have the value for those properties. Do you have any more question? Louis, you understand what's the difference between class and objects?
No, I joined late.
Not too late. Okay. Okay. Come back here. Louis, answer my question. What is a class here? what class do we have here in this example? Louis? Hello, Louis?
Is it car?
Okay, very good. Car is class here. Why? Because I have a keyword class, just like you have def, right, before the function, right? So if you wanted to create or define a class, you need using class space class name. Do I have parentheses? No, I don't have parentheses, right? That's a different, right? Function has parentheses, but class don't have parentheses. I have a colon, and then whatever inside the class has to what? Indentation, okay? Don't forget indentation, very important. Okay, so inside this class, okay? Then tell me, what are the objects here? Victor, what are the objects in this example?
I'm not sure.
Victor,
I'm not sure.
you're not sure? So we just explained, right? Object is just like a detail of class.
Is it brand, model, and year?
No. Brand, model name is inside the class.
Wait, I think Tesla and BMW.
Very good. Tesla and BMW, they are the objects of car class, right? What you can see, I have a car class. That is all definition of the class. Okay, all definition of the class, right? Now I want to using class to create my own object. How can I do that? You create a object variable name, right? You're using class name, put parentheses, and put what? That's called value of properties. Same thing here. BMW, this is also an object of class car, okay? And then these are the value I pass to the properties of the class car. Okay, so Nathan, then answer my question. How many properties does car class has? How many properties? Three, what are they?
Brand, model, and year.
Very good, right? Property is something used to describe the object. Okay, remember this. When we say property, attributes, it is some static things to describe the object. Okay. Now, how many functions do we have here in the class? Nathan, how many functions do we have here in the class?
2.
What are they?
Start and break.
Okay, start and break. What is function? Function is something of action in the class. Okay? Something static. You need to describe the object. Something's action, right? We're using function to do it. Okay? Louis, what is this function? How many functions do we have here in the car class? Louis. How many functions do we have here in the class car?
Are 3.
What are they?
Def, integer, def, star, and def.
Okay, very good. There are totally 3 functions. Why I say that? Because I see def, right? Def is used to create a function. Okay? So, you know what is this init? Actually, it's not just init, right? It's underscore, underscore, init, underscore, underscore, right? This is a function name. A little bit weird, right? But what's the purpose of this function? Louis, can you tell me?
I don't know.
Julian, what's the purpose of the init function?
Huh?
This init function, what's the purpose? Listen, do you know?
I don't know.
What was the question?
The question is, what's the purpose of this init function?
To make the properties of it?
So you can see, right, because whatever you see here is actually setting the property, setting the value to the property, right? Setting the value to the property, right? But it's actually doing initialize the object. Why do I say that? When we call the car class here to create Tesla object, this is actually underlying calling this function. Why I say that? Okay, look at here. Right, let me show you the debug, right? Last time I show you the some of the debugger skills, right? Now gradually I can show you more. So what's called debug? In the pie chart, right? Next to the line of number, you're able to set the red dot. Red dot is called breakpoint. Okay, so which means when the machine executes the program, it will be paused here. Okay, until you let him go. Then we can use this debug technology to debug our code. Debug means figure out what's happening step by step. Okay, let's take a look at that. Now, if I run the code, right? If you want to use debug, you should select debug the Python file name. It's gonna start. Okay. Now, you see, this line of code is highlighted, which means what? Which means the machine executed the program and stop here. Okay, I can let it proceed by press this button, so called resume your program. Okay, so now
What does resume program do?
resume program means let him go, continue, don't stop. Okay, right now it stopped here because why? Because it is the red dot here. Clear? So it's stop here. Okay, so now if I let it go and resume program, what do you see? It's moved to the next line of code, right? This line of code is actually trying to create an object of car class. Okay, now make a guess. If I press resume, it will come into which line of code? 17 or 4, right? Listen to my question. If I press resume, let the program continue to execute, which line of code it will stop at? 17 or line number 4? Victor, make a guess.
I think 4.
Alice, what about you?
I don't know.
Okay. Victor, you said line number 4. Do you have a specific reason?
Yeah,
Why?
because I think like when you do like number 4 is basically, I think it's like function or something, right? So it will like make the code in numbers 16 and 17 work or something.
Okay. What I'm doing here on line number 16, Victor, what I'm trying doing here? Line number 16 is doing what?
Talk about an object called Tesla.
Create object. I try to create an object from car. Okay? So, as I said, this is the goal, right? Just stop here. It's not count to line number 17. It's count to line number 4. Why? Because at line number 16, I try to create an object of car class. Remember, every time, okay, we're gonna create an object of the class, the init function of the class will be called. Understand what I'm talking about? Here, I didn't explicitly to call the function like this, right? This is what I taught you guys before, right? If you wanted to invoke some function, you have to using the function name, using the parent list, then it's gonna be called, right? But not here, because here I'm using create an object of a class. So underlyingly, how the machine gonna do is it's gonna call the init function of that class. This is init function of the class. That's the release come here. Okay. So now, if I click on resume, okay, it's come to next line. It's actually not red next line, it's come to next red dot. Okay. Okay, look at here. You guys may be still confused about self. Listen, what is self?
Is it up? It's the parameter.
Oh, Julian, what is self?
But it's
Anyone? What is self?
I think it's car.
Close. Okay, look at here. When you are in the debug mode, you can see whatever the variable or properties in your program. What do you see here? Brand Tesla, Model X, year 2020. Where is this value coming from? Right? Right now, I'm in a position inside of this function. Okay? They are the parameter. Okay? I can see that the totally 4 parameters going to be used inside this function. Okay? Here, I see 4 items. I know brand is Tesla. Why? Because I'm parsing Tesla for the brand. I know Model X is for model. I know 2020 is for year. What about self? What is self? Self is not a class. Self stands for the object. Okay, if you look at here, it said are object. So self means this object. Which is this object here we're talking about, which is Tesla, right? Because Tesla gonna create, right, from this call. So when the init function code itself is pointing to the cursor object. Cursor object. Okay, now if you see that, look at here. If you expand the self, hey, if the self is an object, so it means I should have all the properties, right? Brand, model, year. But why do I have only brand here and not model and year? Do you guys know? Look at here. Where am I? I'm on this line. Okay. As I said, the debug can show you how the program executes line by line. So when I'm in this line, so which means what? Which means self.brand equals to brand is finished or not. That is, line number 4 has to be finished or not.
Yeah.
It's finished, right? Because I come from line number 4. If it's finished, which means I already assigned the value Tesla to my brand. Okay? But not for model and year because I'm stopping here. Okay, now look at here. When I press resume, pay attention to here. What's the change to the cell, okay? What do you see? The line number is come to 6. At the same time, you see self.model equals to model X. Why? Because this line of code has to be executed. Are you guys following?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now if I press continue again, I don't see the brand, model, year, and the self. Okay. Because why? Because the function has been completed. Right? After this line of code, right, the function has been completed. After the function completed, which means this line of code has been completed. Right? Because this line of code is basically invoke this function. This is done, this is done, proceed, right? Let's go to this line of code. Do I still see self? No. Self is only visible inside of this function. But now I'm out of the function. So I don't see that. But if this object is still available, if the self object, right, we just see the object available. Listen.
No.
The answer is yes. Because
Wait.
Tesla
Available
is
in
that
where? Available in where?
available what?
Available where?
Available where? I didn't get your point.
Like, where is it available?
Where is the properties, right?
Hmm.
Again, Tesla is the object. Look at here. You have a Tesla here. Do you see this one? Tesla or object. So which means the self early you see is just Tesla. Why I say that? If you expand that, what do you see? Brand, model, year. Did you see that? Isn't it the same as you see the self before? Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you have BMW, it would be same thing.
Okay, now let's continue to take a look at, right? Tesla dot start. What does it mean? Louis, what does this mean? Line number 17, Louis.
17. I think it's
Huh? Tell me something, right? Louis.
Oh, I think it just like starts it on your car.
What is start here? What is start here?
It starts the Tesla, right?
Tesla is the object. I'm asking you, what is start?
Oh, I don't know.
Huh? Victor, what is start?
I don't know.
Okay, where do you see start? Start is here. What is start? Louis,
I don't know the meaning of start.
huh?
Uh,
Start is a function, right?
yeah, start the
A
function.
class has three property, has two function, not two function. I mean, three function, of course, right? But it has start and break. Start, break are function. So what I'm doing here, I'm calling the start function of object Tesla, right? Calling start function of object Tesla. Why there is a start function of Tesla? I have a start here, but the start is belongs to the car. Why Tesla has start function? Why? Nathan?
I don't know.
Because Tesla is object of class car. So which means whatever you have here in class, the object also have.
So you
That's the
have to
purpose. That's the purpose of class. You put whatever common themes or common actions into the class, and then you can create detailed object. So whatever inside the class, they are also inside each object. Are we clear? Okay. Same thing here. Break. Let's just call the break function of the object also. I think we have to restart the meeting. Okay. So I stop here. You guys restart. Continue. So I just said whatever inside the class, right? They're also inside an object. That's called a blueprint, right? You have a blueprint of a building. It has kitchen, it has bathroom, it has bedroom. When you build a house from that blueprint, of course, right? You have the kitchen, you have the bathroom, you have bedroom. You guys understand, right? So now my code is here. So I press. Okay, if I press resume program, what's gonna happen? They see that. Okay, press it. If I go to console, you're gonna see Tesla is starting now. This is a print. Okay, why you have Tesla here? Because I'm having the self and the parameter passed into the function, and the self dot brand. What does mean? The object dot brand. What's the object? The object is Tesla, right? So the object of brand equal to Tesla, and then is starting now. Same thing here. If you execute this break, let's move forward. Let's execute it. What do you see? Yes, Tesla is breaking. Okay. So what I'm doing here is I create one object. I call the two functions. Okay. Now, if I remove the red dot, let it go to the end, right? You're gonna see BNW is created, right? It's again gonna call the init function. Assign the value to the property of the object, and then you can also call the function of the object. That's the reason why you print out BNW starting and BNW breaking up. Class and object. Do we have any more questions?
No.
Victor, Alice. Which line of code you don't understand? Are we good? Okay. Now let's quickly take a look at the assignment. The assignment is very similar. Okay. Look at here. I'm asking you to create a class called dog. Okay. What kind of dog? Age, gender, color, right? Breed. What kind of dog? I don't know. I just know it's a dog, right? It's a blueprint of dog. So we need to create a class dog. So when I say create a dog, okay? So we know, oh, create a dog, right? So what I'm gonna do is create a Python, not HTML. Order a dog. Okay, dog. Create a class using keyword class. EOG. Do I have print this? Oh, okay, it's a class. Colon, enter, right? It is automatically to insert the indentation. Okay, so which means whatever you type in next is the part of the class dog. Okay, so what we need to do, 3 properties, name, age, and breed, right? Init function to init object. So we need to create init function. And inside the init function, we need to have 3 properties. You still remember this class? Same thing. Create an init class and what? 3 properties. Okay? The parameter or whatever inside the init class, init function will be the same. Okay, here. So it's a function, so def underscore init. Okay? Very important here.
Wait, does the function name has to be in it?
The function name has to be exactly the same. Underscore init underscore. You cannot change it to other name.
Okay.
Because that's how he can always find out and call your function automatically. Okay, if you change the name, they cannot find it out. Okay, so that's agreement between you and the Python machine, Python interpreter, right? So one more question here, right? What you found? For all the function inside the class, what do you see? The first parameter is always be self. Okay, so that is also agreement. I don't care whatever the other functions you are parsing, right? But the first one has to be self. Okay, but when you call the function, do you need parsing the self? No, you don't need it. Because the caller himself is a self, right? He because I'm calling the function, and what actually parsing as the self is himself. Right? That's the reason why we said that Tesla start, right? And it will execute this function, and if on the self is actually Tesla. Tesla, the brand is Tesla, right? It's getting now. Look at here. What we want to do is what? 3 properties. So what should I write here, Nathan? 3 properties, right? Name, age, and breed. What should I write here?
You should do self.
Okay, self. And remember indentation. Okay, this should be inside of the init function. Self.
Self name, self age, and self.
Okay, don't forget dot. Dot is used to connect between object and property. Name equals to what? You forgot something. Okay, we forgot something. What we forgot? Listen, what do we forgot here?
Can you go back? The name.
I'm trying to Windows the view. Okay, anyway. Yeah, tell me what? Look at here. This is in a function.
I like a name thing, like brand.
To where?
You have to put one in the parameter.
Okay, very good. So don't forget, whatever you are using parameter, you need a value. You need a value to assign where the value coming from. The value has to be passed, right? Has to be passed when you are creating the object. Okay. So first of all, you have to create a function for it, right? Name, age, breed. Okay, now continue. Self.name equals to what? Victor.
The dog's name.
Where is the dog's name here? Yeah, this. Because why I say that? It's coming from outside. Right? You call the function, you need to pass in the name, passing a value of the name. So that's the reason why, hey, I just assigned to myself. Just like you give me a name, right? You give a name to the dog. Same thing, you give age to the dog, right? When you create an object of the dog, you need to say, hey, how old is the dog, right? What's the name of the dog, right? Self.breed equals to breed. Very good. I'm done the init function. Okay? Inside the init function, I have 3 properties. So basically, I have done A, B, we need the 3 functions. What are the 3 functions? Bark, eat, greeting. They are actions. Remember, we're using function to do action. Okay? So now, first, def, bark. Do we need a parameter? We need a parameter words, right? I put a pause for the time being, okay? Leave it there. Eat. Self, food. Pause. Fellas, do you still remember what's the meaning of pause? What's the purpose of pause here?
No.
Okay. Pause is a placeholder. Greet self. Okay, greet self. That's a 3 function. Pause is used whenever you wanted to put some logic inside this block. but they're not ready. Okay, but you still don't want it to mark, right? Got any error when you execute the program. So what you do is you give a pause inside the place. Okay, so in this case, look at here. What happens if I don't have pause? You see that the red line is calling the index expected, so it's not correct. You put pause. Again, as a placeholder, you should remove that, right? Once you really start implement the function. Okay, I have implemented 3 functions, right? So now let's look at each function doing what. Bark function to print name is barking words. For example, Max is barking, leave me alone. Leave me alone is words, right? Max is the name. So the max is the value of prop name, and leave me alone is the value of parameter words. So that's a difference. Why is different? Max, right? Name here is coming from where? Coming from the object itself, right? The property of object. Leave me alone is coming from where? It's coming from the parameter words. If the words property of class dog, no, but that is some value passing as a parameter. Okay, so I come back here. Now I wanted to implement the function. I remove this. I do print what? Name. How can I get name here? Anybody can tell me, how can I get name in this function? Louis, are you listening?
Can you use self.name?
Very good. Name is self.name. Why you can get the name here? Because again, self is stand for the whole object. Whatever inside the object is available. Okay? So self.name. What else? We need to add what? Barking, right? So the sentence is name is barking the words, right? Okay, the name is barking the words. Where the words coming from? The words coming from the parameter. That's it. That's a function. First function. You want to test it? Let's test it. Right? You don't have to wait the whole class is completed. Okay, now I have created the dog class. You know what? Let me run this. Nothing happened. Nothing print out. I didn't see the sentence. Why? Why? It said what? Why I don't see anything? Julian.
Huh?
Why I don't see anything? Shouldn't I see the Max is or some dog is barking?
Because there's no object.
I don't create an object. Very good. What I created so far is just a class. Again, you create a blueprint. Just like a blueprint of a building, but you haven't constructed a house from the blueprint, right? Now, let's create an object from the class. How can we create? Victor, I will try. I want to create an object from the class. How can I create? Make sure you're not you're outside the class, right? You're outside class, right? Don't have indentation. Yeah, continue, Victor. Create object. Oh.
I think it is
you need to have an object variable.
I think it is name equals to I need
Name
dog.
equals to, you sure? And take a look at here. How I create object from the class. You first need to have an object variable. You need to have an object variable, right? And just give me a variable name.
Dog.
You cannot use dog. Why? Because there's already dog. Dog has to be used as a class name. Something else.
Max.
Okay, max. Equals to. Okay, I create a variable. I'm gonna use the variable to hold an object. What's next, Victor? Equals to what?
Equals to max, I think. Like
I try to create object from which class?
dog.
Okay. Prentice. Okay. Alice. What should I put inside the prentice? Look at here, okay? I'm passing 3 values. Each value mapping to what? Each property. So same thing here. What should I put here? Alice.
A name, age, and breed.
Oh, name, age, breed, right? Just give me a name.
I don't
You
know.
need to give a name of the dog.
Bob.
Huh? Okay, let's use the max, okay? Because you are using max variable, right? It's weird if you are using the max as a variable, but you are using some other name for the dog, right? What else? Alice, continue. I already give a name. What else I need to give to you?
Age.
Age, how old?
1.
1. Okay. What else?
It's breed.
Breed. You know breed, right? What kind of dog? Example.
Golden retriever, I guess.
What's that?
A golden retriever.
Oh, okay. I don't know what's exactly the golden, okay? Golden. The breed of the dog called golden, right? Okay. So I have done a creation of an object, right? Which is from the dog class, right? I'm giving required value for each parameter. Okay. So I want let the dog bark. Julian, I want let the dog bark. How can I do now? Julian,
Huh?
I want let the dog bark.
Huh?
I want to let the dog bark. How can I do now?
Bark parentheses.
Before bark, you need using what? Who? You want asking who to bark?
Yeah.
Huh? Julian,
Max equals to bark parentheses.
max not equals to, okay? You are calling the function of an object. Max dot, right? Again, whatever I define here, the object max also have. So I have those properties. Why I say that? Look at here. Print max.name. Okay, run this. Max. Right? Print max.age. Print max.breed. What do you see? You have all the values. Same. all the function I'm using here, Max also have, right? Remember, what is a class? Class is a blueprint, okay, of the stuff. Object is a detail, right, of that class, okay? Every dog can bark. So Max dot bark. What should I pass? Listen, what should I pass here? It's a function, right?
Yeah.
What should I pass in here?
Like go away.
Okay. Remember, though I have a parameter self here, but I don't have to pass value to it. Okay, just like when I call the init, right? When I create the object, I didn't pass in self. I didn't pass 3. Same thing here. When I call the function, I don't need to care about the self. I just need to care about the one after self. Okay. Right back here. Go away. Now, let's look at, right? Run this. Okay. What do you see? Max is barking. Go away. Why this line of code? Why this sentence is print out? Because I'm calling the bark function. What is bark function here? The bark function is take one parameter. Okay. It print out self.name. What self? Self is the caller. Who is calling this function? Max. So Max is self. Okay? Max self's name, of course, is Max. Is barking words. What words? You're passing go away, so it's print out, go away. Any question?
Words.
Huh?
Words is a parameter.
Words is something you pass to it, right?
So if you don't have words and you just put words, it will work.
What do you mean?
Like if you take out the words parameter, will it still work?
You mean take out from here?
Yeah.
Then you cannot using that here, right? Like this. I don't understand your question. If you want passing more information, you need to have parameter, right? If you don't have parameter, I mean, of course, right? It's still valid, like this one, greeting, right? Greeting, I don't need to pass in anything. Why? Because I said in greeting function, you just need to print out, hello, I am breed, I am kind of breed dog, right? This is an example. Hello, I am an Alaskan dog. My name is Max. I am 2 years old. What do you see? Alaskan, Max, 2. They are the property value of the object. I already have. I don't need to take from outside. You understand what I'm talking about? Look at the second function. Max is eating pizza. Where is Max coming from? Max is coming from self-name. But the pizza is not part of the class. The pizza has to be coming from outside. That's the reason why I'm having a food parameter to take it. Understand? Any more question? Okay. So similarly, right? I explained eat, greeting, right? It's like barking. You can easily to implement the eat and greeting function. Okay. Go back to requirements. After you have done the function, what do you see? You need to create a dot class. You create a dot class. You need to create 3 different objects for the greeting, barking, and eating function for each. So this is just one dog. It's an Alaskan dog called Max, 2 years old. and I call the greeting, eating, and barking. So I'm gonna see 3 line of sentence right in the console. Similarly, you should create another instance of dog, right? Whatever name you want to give to him, whatever year old, whatever the breed. I need you to give me 3 different objects. That's it. Any question about the themes we covered today? Okay, so that's the second class we are discussing the class.
Isn't there a task 2?
Huh? What task 2?
Today's just one task.
That's it. That's all you need to finish. Okay.
Okay.
Alice and Victor. Now you understand how to do it. Okay. Look at here. I almost write 70% of code for you already. Alice and Victor. Victor?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now you guys at least need to write me something to me, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So waiting for you guys, right? So do it as early as possible, maybe tomorrow morning, right? Or even tonight. I don't think it's gonna take much longer time, right? 15, 20 minutes at most, I think. Okay, so just you know, take the time to still fresh in your mind, okay? Louis, are you able to do that now? Do you understand?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay? So I wanted to turning something make more sense, okay? Louis.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what happened from your end, but that's it. Okay, thank you so much. I think that's the end of the class today. Thank you. Okay, see you guys next week. Bye.